it's Hillary, and I am here to wish you a very Merry Creative Faith Christmas. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some fun Christmas craft ideas as well as some Christmas decorating ideas. And it's just such a sweet time of year. And I wanted to share this video. I wanted to read a verse to kick it off. And it's from Philippians chapter 4, and it's verse 11. And it says, "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have." And I thought that would be a really great verse to start this video as I just think about the Christmas time, the Christmas season, and it can be a season of joy and wonderful things, but it can also be a season where there's a lot of consumerism and a lot of shopping. And as I was thinking about decorating our home for Christmas, it can be really easy to get kind of caught up in buying new things. And this year, my goal was to not buy any new Christmas decorations. We have a lot of beautiful decorations already, and I think it is good, just like what Paul said in his letter to the Philippians. It's good to be content with whatever we have. And so the only thing I ended up buying were 5 oranges from Walmart for 77 cents each, which I think is pretty awesome. And in this video, I'm going to explain how to make a beautiful garland like you see behind me. But I just want to encourage you this Christmas season to be content. Think about how you can use what you have to get creative, to bless others. And so I hope this video gives you some fun craft ideas, some fun decorating ideas. And I do have a whole Christmas blog post roundup that I will link in the description box below, where you can check out all sorts of creative faith Christmas things. So enjoy this video with some fun Christmas crafts and decorating ideas.
The first craft we're going to make together is a star garland, and I am using some Creative Faith pattern papers, Christmas pattern papers, and I'll have this printable linked below. I also just recently made a new Creative Faith pattern paper for Christmas, and so those would be great options. I printed them on cardstock, and I have this star shape that I'm using to trace. So I just traced them all and cut them out. So pretty simple, pretty simple craft, but I wanted to just mix up how our mantle looks in our living room. And so I thought this would be a neat way to do that. So you can use this in all sorts of different places above your bed, in an office, on your mantle, lots of different ways to and places to put a cute little garland like this. I've also done it before in other shapes, like I've made a heart garland, which would also be sweet to use for Christmas as well too, but I thought the star would be especially perfect. And then I'm punching holes on opposite sides of the star. And so you want to make sure you have them going, have 2 holes and have them on the opposite sides. And then I am arranging them in order. I ended up doing a red, green pattern, which turned out nicely. I also was kind of debating redoing it and just having all one color, but I ended up really liking the 2 different colors together. And then I am stringing mine on lace, actually, but you could use any piece of string. And then the last step is to hang and enjoy. So, really sweet way to give our mantle an updated look. And you'll see the final product in the end of this video. Next up, we have a Christmas countdown with Bible verses. And this is another Creative Faith printable. And I will have my printer linked below. I use an tank printer, and I really love. And so this printable is, I'm using the 3x3 cards, and then there's also the same printable but in word strips if you wanted to make a paper chain. But I wanted to do the 3x3 cards because I thought it would be really easy to reuse again and again in this little canvas countdown calendar that you see behind me. And so I cut out the little rectangles or squares, and then I folded them up and stuffed them into the calendar. And so this is a really great way to focus on Jesus, the birth of Jesus, and read scripture every day. And on the cards, there's also a discussion question or a reflection question. And that way, it can just, again, really be an engaging tool to help your family reflect on the real meaning of the season. I used a command hook to put it on our closet wall, closet door there. And then I have this cute little bow that I put on top just to make it look even more festive and to kind of hide the command hook a little bit. So that is craft number 2. The third craft we're going to do in this video is an orange slice garland, and this is my second year doing this. So the first thing you're going to want to do, which I did off camera, is cut out the oranges into thin slices, and then you're going to put them on a cookie sheet, and I like putting mine on top of parchment paper. I bake them at 170 to 175 degrees for 6 hours. So it is a bit of a time commitment. And then every hour I flip them. So you bake them and then make sure you're flipping them every hour so they don't get burned. Then we use a little knife and poke 2 holes at the top of the orange slice so that way it'll lay nicely. And then use a little bit of string and string them on through. So a really sweet way to use some natural elements and make a cute garland. And one other little tip too is to dab off the oranges with a little paper towel before you start putting them in the oven. In that way, it will help to not have it be quite as wet and need quite as long time in the oven. So now I am decorating and setting up my little letterboard for the season. I love swapping this out. This is a wedding present, and I love changing it out every season. So we did that. And then I also added some little bows to these candle holders in our bedroom. And I did this in our living room too. So that was another really sweet and cheap and easy way to add a little bit of decor to our space.
Let's start in the bedroom. This is the first room actually that is off our front door. And one thing, well, a couple things I love to do each season is I like to swap out what we already have. So instead of trying to recreate something new, I just swap out like the little fake branches there. So in fall, they're folly. In February, I add a little heart dangling. And right now, they're the fake Christmas tree branches. And then I do the same in the milk glass. I just swap those out seasonally. And then during the fall time, I got this pack of 2 cotton green throw pillow covers. And I'll have those linked down below on Amazon. I purposely bought green because I thought it would be perfect for both Christmas and fall. So I have absolutely been loving these. They wash really well because I love to wash our throw pillow covers. I try and do it monthly. And then this is the little holiday pillow that I got last year from Walmart. So that's the only Christmas pillow we have, but really love how this turned out. I also, over on my nightstand, layered some Christmas colored books I already had with that little vignette, and I just think that turned out really precious. So there's one side of the bedroom. Got our little candelabra plugged in. This is from my mom's family, so it's been for several generations. I love having that in our front window. And then panning over to my dresser. When the fall time, we added these candle holders, and I just think they look so kind of old school, and I really love them. So I know bows are really in for the season, and it would have been really cute to get like a one of those velvet bows that you see all over the place, but and trying to use what I have and save money, I just used some ribbon from my stash and tied it on, cut the ends to be the little triangle. And I just think it looks so cute. I love that addition. And we have our little mini Christmas tree in here. And fun fact, we actually made these ornaments and sold them several years ago. These are all the reject ones that didn't turn out quite as cute. But I love having them on this little mini tree. And then on top of my husband's dresser, I swapped out the milk crate or milk glass vase and put a little bit of our cut off Christmas tree. So another simple little Christmas swap that makes it just look so festive in here. Coming around the corner, we have the Christmas countdown. I got the base of it several years ago now from Target, from the Hearth and Hand collection. And I purchased the base before I had even made the printable that's inside, but I had this vision for a cute Christmas countdown, and then I just hung it with a command hook, and I have this little bow that goes on top. And so inside is the printable, it's the story of the birth of Jesus. These are the 3x3 cards. And I also have a strips, like to make a paper chain. There's also that version of this same thing. And so both would be a really great purchase to add to your Christmas collection. Really fun to do with your family, your spouse, your kids, your small group. So each day has a small chunk of scripture to read, as well as a discussion question or journaling question. And so I had never actually set it up, but this year I was like, I'm doing it. And so you can reuse it again and again. And I'll probably just store it like this, with the little papers already cut up and in here, so that Christmas year after year we can continue reading the story of the birth of Jesus. And anyway, so I love having printables because you can, once you buy them once, print them again and again for personal use. And so really awesome investment. And so again, I'll have these 3x3 cards linked below, as well as the word strips. The word strips you probably couldn't necessarily use every year. You'd have to totally reprint and cut them, but that's okay too. So there's our little Christmas countdown Bible study calendar. Now we're heading into the main room in our house, and this is kind of a little, I guess you call it an entry table. You see it right when you walk in, and have our little Fernandez sign. And then I was getting kind of overwhelmed and tired of decorating, and so my sweet husband arranged this half. And it is not necessarily what I would have done, but I just thought it was so precious and cute that he was helping, and that this is what he came up with. So I wanted to leave it. Normally we have like an oval woven piece under the cake stand, but I swapped it out for a scarf. This was one of my grandma's scarves. And that's kind of a fun way to make a little update. And then I did over here, after my husband had done this, I got a second wind and I cut more of our Christmas tree branches that he had kind of trimmed off the bottom and put them in this vase and stacked it on top of some neutral colored books. So I love how that turned out. And then down below, we normally have this tray with the candles on our table, but I wanted to put something else there this year. So I stuck it down here instead, and I don't know that we'll necessarily light this. I had kind of envisioned this as like our Advent candles, but there's only 3 candles and not 5. So I guess more of a decor piece this year. And then I tucked more of those little Christmas tree branches around. course, if you were lighting your candles, you'd want to be super careful or remove the branches. And then I was trying to figure out what to put on the letterboard, and one of the pastor of the church in the DR when I was living there is American, and his wife Kelly is just so sweet and wise, and she lives in the States now, but I loved she did a little Instagram post with a kind of Christmas thought about repeat the sounding joy, and so I decided I would add that for the letterboard saying this Christmas because I just really loved what she had to say. So instead of having the advent candles on our kitchen table, I wanted to pull out our little glockenspiel, and has Mary and Joseph and Jesus and the shepherds, and when you light the candles, it spins. And normally we don't light this, and I was just thinking, why not? Why not have something? Why not use something if you're gonna have it? So I layered it on top of this little Christmas napkin. I do wish maybe it looked slightly different, like it was on a bigger tray or something, but I think it's really sweet, and I'm glad that we're using it this Christmas. Up above, I have the berry crates, and these are always kind of tricky for me to style. I like it okay. This is a reindeer that my mom's mom painted, and normally it has a plug to light up, but I just wanted to kind of prop it up there and just have a variety of our little Christmas, I don't know, knickknacks and style them up there. So I also added a little bow to our card holder. So I'll put our Christmas cards that we get up above there. Those are the berry crates and our pretty table centerpiece. And maybe some encouragement for you. Is there something that you have been hoarding and saving because you don't want it to get ruined, or you don't want to use up the candles? That was my thinking with this. I encourage you to pull it out and enjoy it. Don't just let it sit in a box or sit tucked away. Enjoy it this Christmas season. Our kitchen is messy, but I didn't want to wait to clean it because it's just always messy because I'm always using it. You can see pumpkins I still have to process, the sweet potatoes to process, but I wanted to share above our kitchen sink. So this is one of the orange slice garlands, and I just think it turned out so cute. And then this is an olive branch. It was supposed to be a crown for our heads. I went with my parents to an olive oil festival in November. And my mom had this idea to turn it into a little wreath. So she added the bow and the little star ornament. So I love how that came together. Spend a lot of time here washing dishes, and I love being able to look at something pretty. Something else new that I did this year is I have all these Christmas cookie cutters that I've never used, and I really want to do some like gingerbread cookies, sugar cookies, and actually use them. So I thought it would be cute to style them in a vase, and then I added another little bow. I had thought about doing a bigger vase and putting like some little red ball ornaments in with it to make it kind of stand out more, but I must have gotten rid of the bigger vase I was going to use. But that is kind of a sweet functional idea to, again, don't keep them stuffed away in a box, but instead have them out and be able to use and enjoy them, because out of sight, out of mind. Here is a cute little coffee bar-ish setup. We got my mug tree, and this is a Creative Faith Society 6 Christmas mug. I'll have this linked down below. It says "When Love Came Down" on one side, and on the back it has a little manger scene with my Christmas florals. So I love using this and all of the Christmas mugs. So it's fun to swap this out seasonally. And got our milk frother. This would make a great Christmas gift. I got one for my parents this year. And then I have some more Christmas colored books stacked and some little tea bags and cocoa mixes and things. So here's our little coffee mug station. This pillow cover, my parents and I sewed together. So we sewed the main cover and it has these little buttons on it. You can see. And then we made this kind of Christmas wrap for it using an old tablecloth from one of my grandma's. And I just think it's super cute. Again, another really easy way to swap your pillowcase cover, but this takes like no room to store. So I love having that, and it's sweet because it's sentimental and a piece of our kind of family history. And then styling the bookcase behind it, I didn't pull out and use all of my little knick-knacky things, and I kind of just like how there's space. I mean, there's still a lot of stuff here, but compared to normal, I didn't pull everything out. I did do something different, and I grouped all our snowmen together in like a little collection. My mom used to do that. So I like how that turned out, and these plants are normally on our fireplace, and I put them over here. And anyways, just really like how this turned out. And then on our couch, I've got the other green pillowcase cover and a few blankets. This is an organic cotton blanket that my husband got me for my birthday. This would make another really great Christmas gift. If you're in the market for one, I'll have this linked below. I love it so much. We need to get a few more. But I just love the layers and the coziness. And we have a big rip in our couch here. I have it just covered with a blanket, and that totally works. Then spanning around, we have my favorite part, which is our Christmas tree and our mantle. And I have, this is another thing that I just swap out each season. So it's pumpkins in the fall, and then I have these little globes that I put in that concrete bowl the rest of the year. And for now, it is these little vintage ornaments. I always have my chapstick. And then have our Christmas tree. And my husband put this little gnome up in the star, so I left that. We have all these ornaments that are just a mixture from years past. Definitely not like an overly aesthetic tree with matching ornaments and things, but each of these are so special and have memories attached to them. This is from Gwen, who was like a third grandma, family friend, and she's long since passed, but she's still with us in spirit. And then I love how our mantle turned out. So here's the orange garland and the stars using the Creative Faith printable, and it just turned out so cute for such a good price. The printable, since I already had it, was free, and the oranges were, I got 5 of them for 77 cents each, and it just gave our mantle a new look. And have just some candles and some trees and our nativity. So love spending so much cozy time by the fire, by our tree. It is truly just the best part of the season, being by, I feel like, all the cozy lights and things. It just is so calming. And then one last thing I wanted to show you. I got my little Christmas book basket, but I added these little ribbons to this candle holder, just like I did in our bedroom, but I used green ribbons this time for another affordable Christmassy update. The Thank you so much for watching. I hope you loved this video and seeing our Christmas decor, getting some Christmas decorating ideas, as well as some fun Christmas crafts that you can make with your friends and family and your kids, your husband. Time to get creative, and I would just invite you to spend time this holiday season getting creative, getting crafty, but most of all, reflecting on the birth of Jesus, the Savior of the world. So be sure to check out the different links that I mentioned in the description box below. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any upcoming Creative Faith videos. I have a goal of reaching 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So please hit that subscribe button if you liked this video. And I want to wish you again a very